Good evening. This is Avraham Shira. Welcome to our Master Series class entitled Divine Inspiration and the Many Faces of Meditation. This is the third class in the series. The first two classes we checked out some very important ideas that are preparation ideas to help to begin to create the psychic vessel to receive the spark of God within us. Each person has a spark individual to him from the creator of the universe. But we can't hear it or know it, recognize it, unless we first cleanse the lens. And not only do we need to cleanse the lens, but we need to purify the air filter. And we need to silence the external world so that we can enter into the world of our inner senses. Because just as we have ears that can hear outside us, we have eyes that can see outside us, we also have ears that can hear what's going on inside. And we also have eyes that can see what's going on inside. And if you don't believe me, you only have to practice a few times and you'll see that it's true. But the main thing is that we're not taught these ideas, and certainly, modern education is not geared for this type of metaphysical exploration. However, it's there, it's part of us, it's a gift from the Creator in order that we may get to know Him, because that is the ultimate pleasure of such a Creator, is to know His creation, and that we should know Him and have a relationship. Now, the first week we talked about the idea of not knowing and how we create that state of not knowing. Not knowing is not ignorance. It's not a lack of knowledge. It's not being a dummy. It's allowing the mind to reach a place of humility in our relationship to the universe. That the mind can be given permission to be still, to be quiet, to know that I don't know. And what that I don't know means usually is it means I don't know about now. And I don't know about the will of the Creator now. I know that in my heart I decided to teach this class now, and I set aside that time in the now, and I hope it's the right time. But so much of life we're living in the I know this and I know that we forget about the true knowledge and the true knower of any given moment. Now, our second class, we dealt with the idea of the path of speech. That when we get to the level of 1 millisecond of inner silence, of real listening, that's when we can begin to talk. And so speech itself, talking to God in our own words, in our own language, from our own truth. Even if you hate God, you could talk to Him about it. And He loves that because you're being honest. What God doesn't like is dishonesty, because Hashem hu emet. God is truth. And the absolute idea that most people want to avoid. Absolute truth. There is no absolute truth. You hear the whole world is yelling, there's only subjective truth. There's no objective truth. Well, from a human perspective, there might be truth to that lack of objective truth, because human beings are so subjective. And this is part of the miracle of the Torah and keeping the Torah, is that it helps us become objective according to a divine set of laws and ways of living and treating each other. Make sense? So objectivity is really an approach to achieving the perspective of something higher than the individual. And of course, what's higher than the individual is the collective. And the ultimate collective of humanity is the one who created us. And when we have some tiny moment of objectivity, we can speak some truth. So that was what we covered in the second class, more or less. Tonight we're going to talk about the psychic onion, the structure of the universe. The Zohar HaKadosh, the main book of Kabbalah, of all books of Kabbalah, and there are thousands. The main book is the Zohar, and in the beginning of an introduction, the Rebbe says that the entire universe is built like an onion. Now, isn't that interesting? An onion. It peels apart in layers. So the universe is a multi-layered structure. And we use this image to help us perceive structure.